What's going on? DJ HAPA here at Scratch DJ Academy to bring you a video on creating your first mix. Well, maybe it's not your first mix, but hopefully this will be the best mix that you've made up until this point. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, things that I do in my own DJ career on different types of rigs. It all works the same. We're going to do it today on DJ. So, first things first, this is part one of a three-part series of creating this mix. So the first thing we need to do is we need to prep. Prepping our mix is essential, and there's 4 steps involved. Number 1, we need to know the tempo, aka we need to know the BPM. Number 2, we need to know some music theories, so beats, bars, and phrases. Number 3, we need to learn how to set grids because everything that we do is going to be based on the grid, including hitting that sync button and effects and loops and all that stuff. Number 4, we need to understand the structure of the track, so the parts of the song. And in order to do that, we're also going to use our cue points and learn how to set cue points to be able to distinguish which parts are which. Cool? Let's do it. First things first, we need to know tempo. So most of you are very familiar with picking out a track and putting it on the deck. However, I'm going to show you how you can sort this way. So let's go to Spotify first. And you see this category over here, this is our BPM, and I can sort by BPM. Now, the track that I have on the deck is 122 beats per minute, aka 122 BPM. Now, my rule that I'm going to give you is plus or minus 4. 4 is going to be our magic number here. So that means I'm looking for a track that's 118 to 126, somewhere in that range. Now, obviously, you can mix things that are farther apart, but it's just going to distort the audio. So we want to try and stay a little bit tighter in terms of what tracks we're going to use. So that's the key here. I'm actually going to go here and go to my library. This right here, 125 with that 122, that'll work. So let me go ahead and load that on the deck, and we're good to go. That was number 1. Number 2, we need to know some basic music theory. So in music, seconds, minutes, and hours aren't accurate ways of depicting time. So for instance, that intro is not 16.5 seconds. We need to explain that in terms of beats and bars. So that intro is maybe 8 bars, or 4 bars, or 16 bars, something like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with beats first, and in terms of doing this, I like this visual here. I'm going to switch to our waveform mode so you can see it a little bit better. So here we go. I'm going to count this off for you. Beats I define as head nods. I feel like it's the most accurate way to define a beat. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those are beats, right? So let's go back to the top. And in fact, some of you may have already figured this out, but I can scrub the waveform by moving my finger along that waveform so I can get it back to the top. All right, so here we go. Let's try it again. Now in terms of bars. So 4 beats make up 1 bar. I'll count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, then 1. 4 bars equal 1 phrase. All right, so you could say this, what I just counted, you could say it 3 different ways. You could say that was 4 bars, or you could say that was 1 phrase, or you could say that that was 16 beats. Either way is accurate. All right, so let's go back up to the top. Now that we know beats and bars, now we're going to talk about setting a grid. All right, so the grid is essential. And what the grid is based on is what the tempo is set at, and it's trying to mark off where those head nods are. And you'll see that here. So let's play this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the grid looks pretty good, right? You can see that at the very beginning of this shape, I've got a line. Now what you might notice too is that there are darker lines. So you see how that line is a little bit darker than that line? Well, the dark line is actually representing the 1 of the bar. And it's really important that you have that set properly. So the other track that I have, this is a good example of a track where the 1 of the bar was not set properly. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So this should be the 1 of our bar, but look, it's set on the 4. So it's not set properly. And if I look back at the 1, it's not a dark line. This is really going to screw us up when we start to sync things together. All right, because we want the 1 to line up with the 1, the 2 to line with the 2, the 3 to line with the 3, the 4 to line with the 4. So I can change this by editing the grid. I'm going to hit this little pencil tool right here. And now all I need to do is hit set at the 1. Set. And there it is. Now it's a dark line. So now when we watch this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. It's set nicely. Now there's one other way to check to make sure you're right here, and that is by turning on this mode. And you can see that it's now broken it up into 4 sections. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1. So you can use this mode too to kind of help you out. All right. So now we've set grids, and now the last thing we need to do, and probably one of the most important things, is to figure out the sections of the song. So the goal in creating a mix is to try and blend 2 songs together without destroying those songs. You don't want to cut the song out before the height of that song. And for most songs that have lyrics, the height of the song is the chorus. So we want to leave the chorus intact, meaning we want the chorus to play all the way through before we're completely out of the song and into the next one, right? Now, for some other genres, like let's say an EDM type of a genre, like a progressive house track or something like that, you're going to wait for the drop. So that part is the anticipated part of the record. All right? So we're not going to cut the song before the drop. We're going to cut the song after the drop. Now, you could simply just go from one song to the next and not blend them together. But this video is all about blending songs together. So in order to do that, I need to know how long are these sections. How long is the chorus? How many bars is the chorus? And then of the song that I'm coming into, how many bars is the intro? This is what I need to figure out. So I'm going to use some cue points to help me out. Let me show you how to set a cue. Let's go back to the very beginning of this track. If I pull up this right here, I'll be able to see my cue points. I've got 3 cues. I've got a red, a green, and a blue. And I have a 4th cue, which is this one right here, which is my white cue. Let's use the red one for the beginning. So I'm just going to go and hit the red button. Now that it has set a cue. And in order to jump back to that cue, all I need to do is hit that. And it'll jump right back to it. Okay? Now I'm going to go deeper into the track to kind of where the height of it is. And I can see that by looking at the waveform. Most of the red colors in the waveform, that's where your kicks are going to be. That's where the low is. So in this song, I know this song because this is a song that we made. But the song right here, this is where the height of it is. Right there on that 1. So I want to set a cue point there. It is very important that I follow the grid because I don't want to set a cue here because that's not actually where it is. That's not on the beat. So you see how it's a little bit off? So I want to set it here instead. So in order to do that, all I need to do is hit green again, and it'll reset it and put it where I need to put it. All right? So that's my cue there, and I can jump back to it. It's also a visual marker to know maybe where I start the other song to be able to match them up. So the bars and understanding the length of the phrases is going to be everything. I'm basically trying to line 2 songs up and not, this is a big one, I don't want to have vocals over vocals. We'll talk about that more in the next video. We are now prepped. We're ready to go. We're ready to mix. The next step is to put it all together. So here's what we've covered so far, just to recap. Number 1, you now know how to find the tempo, where the BPM is, and what the range is that you should be mixing. Number 2, you know some music theory now, beats, bars, and phrases. And you also know, number 3, how to set the grid and adjust the grid if you need to. And last but not least, we now know that we need to know how long the sections are in the songs, and we know how to set cue points. Now we're ready to go. Let's get to mixing.